everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today is day 3 of my 15 days of beauty. I'm going to be uploading a video every single day for 15 days, sharing some of my absolute favorites of the year of 2022 and some of my worst of 2022. And I also have a few other videos that I'm kind of throwing in there. It's going to be fun. I'm excited to upload every day for 15 days. I will leave a link to the playlist down in the description box down below. I will have all of them inside that playlist. So if you missed out on day 1 and day 2, they will be down in that playlist. So today's video is going to be all about my top 5 favorite blushes and my top 5 favorite bronzers for the year of 2022. I have a lot of favorite blush and bronzers, and I felt like this video could be very long if I wanted it to, and I thought I'll just condense it down for 5 of the blushes and 5 of the bronzers. They are the bronzers and blushes that I have consistently reached for the year of 2022. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start with blushes. Let's jump into it. As many of you guys know, I love blush, and I always get heavy-handed with it. I can't help it because I love blush so much. Because I love blush so much, I have included a few cream formulas along with powder formulas. So I'm not going to rank them. I'm just going to grab them. But I do have to say, my absolute favorite blush for the year is the new Gucci blushes. I'm absolutely obsessed with these. They are ridiculously priced. They are, but the number one reason why I love it is I love how silky the formula is. It really is like a silky matte formula, but it has the hint of luminosity. But what I also love is it's very buildable. So it's not like a ton of pigment out the gate. You don't have to worry about picking up too much. The formula builds really well. So I have number 1, Silky Rose. I've used this so much that the Gucci embossing is almost gone. That's the one I just recently purchased. But shade 4 is my favorite. You can see I have used this so many times. I'll probably have to repurchase this one because I use it that much, and I'm okay with it. It's really expensive, and I get it, but I love the packaging. I think it's kind of dainty and feminine, kind of gives me that luxury feel to it. So even though it's ridiculously priced, I'm okay with it because I love the formula, I love the packaging, and it's my number 1 favorite blush for the year. It truly is. I just can't stop reaching for it. It's so gorgeous. So the next one is from Charlotte Tilbury, and this is in the shade Ecstasy. Gosh, I love this. This is the most beautiful kind of peachy pink, and it has a little bit of iridescence to it, but it's not too strong as far as like it's not super shimmery. It kind of gives the skin a luminous glow, but it's a powder. I love this blush. From the day I ordered it, I have just continued to use it. And I can't remember, I might have bought this in 2021. I'm not sure exactly how long I've had it, but I just know that I have used this so many times this year. It has to be a part of my top 5 because I just have consistently reached for it, grabbed it, love it. I love the shade. I love the luminous look. Just a gorgeous blush. So there you go. Next up, we have the cream blushes from Victoria Beckham Beauty. Now, I have 4 out of the 5 shades, and I love these as much as I did the first day I tried them on. What I like about it is that it is very buildable, and it has a luminosity to it, the cream texture does, but it doesn't cause the face to have too much shine. You can put it on, and it doesn't make your foundation or whatever you're wearing underneath it become transparent. It's just a really nice luminous cream blush formula that's got the right amount of pigment, but also builds really well. I'm almost out of Playground. So that is as far as it goes. I'm almost out of Playground. And that tells me that it's something that I'm consistently using when I'm getting low on it. That's the shade Playground, which is this shade right here. Gosh, it's pretty, this one. I love this formula. It's one of my favorite cream blushes, when you're consistently reaching for something and you're almost out of it, that tells you that you love it. Next up, I'm sure this was in last year's, I'm sure some of these were in last year's video, and I apologize, but I still love the Patrick Ta Beauty blush duos, the cream and powder blush. This is, in my opinion, one of the best duo blushes out there. And if you're someone that likes the thought of layering your blushes, where you like to put on a powder and then maybe a cream over top or vice versa, this is one of the best formulas in my opinion. Now, I haven't always loved his palettes, especially the last palette. I didn't love it. The formula was a little weird, but I love the duos, just the single pans. These are some of my ride or die most favorite. So this is in the shade She's Blushing. I have used this so many times this year. He launched this new shade and I cannot stop. This is my favorite shade from him. I think I have all of the shades in the single pan, and this is the one that I constantly reach for. This has a little bit of iridescence to it, just the smallest amount, where it kind of gives your skin a little bit of luminosity. Oh my gosh. And if you're someone that loves blush like I do and you like to layer, cannot recommend his formula enough. Whether you like to put on a powder blush and then a cream over top or vice versa, there's a lot of versatility in this formula, and it's just still one of my absolute favorites. Then finally we have this from Mercier. Oh, these are so good. Oh, these are so good. So this was launched, I want to say maybe early springtime. I don't know, maybe like February-ish. I could be completely wrong on that. But this is called the Tinted Moisturizer Blush. It is so pigmented, but yet so easy to blend. So I like to put it on the back of my hand and kind of spread it out a little bit like that. And then I will take a brush and go down into it. It is such a beautiful formula. I mean, the pigment on this, and don't be intimidated by it because a little goes the longest way. And if you feel like you get a little bit heavy-handed, you can grab your sponge and kind of go over it and it will blend right in. I mean, look at that coverage though. It is such a gorgeous formula. This is in the shade Promenade. The one main thing that I love about this is that it's very long wearing. So it's one of those cream formulas that you can put it on and it lasts all day long. You never have to worry about it fading. It's very dependable. They have beautiful shades. I mean, Mercier, they did such a great job on those blushes, and it had to be on the list because, oh, they're so good. I have one more, but I think I might have given the other shade to my daughter because I can't find it. Anyway, so that's it for the blushes. Let's go ahead and get into the bronzers. So again, I have 5 favorite bronzers in my collection, and I would say my #1 most used, most loved bronzer of 2022 has to be the Gucci. It always is the Gucci. This is the most gorgeous formula. Again, it's similar to the blush, which is the reason why I was excited about the blush, because I loved the bronzer so much. I was hoping that the blush would be like the bronzer, and it is. Very blendable, buildable. So that's what I like in this bronzer, is that I can dunk my brush in there and not have to worry about getting too heavy-handed with it because it builds really well on top of itself. It has that really nice, creamy, silky texture. This is just one of the most beautiful bronzers. And I have it in shade 4. Yeah, that one is shade 4. And I hope they launch more shades on these because this is one amazing bronzer formula. #1 most used, absolutely. And I've been surprised that I haven't hit pan. I thought for sure I was going to hit pan this year, but I haven't. Such a beautiful bronzer. The next thing I have here is this from Westman Atelier. So this is not technically a bronzer, but oftentimes I use it as a bronzer. If I'm wanting a cool tone, I don't really have a lot of powder cool tone bronzers in my collection. And so when I'm wanting more of a cooler toned look on my face, that's when I will grab this from Westman Atelier. It's such a beautiful shade. So I have this in the shade Truffle. And I have used this all year long, especially on those days where I'm needing something super quick because it is in that stick form and I'll just hurry and, you know, throw it on, blend it out. It's just one of those easy formulas. But this color, as you blend it out, it blends out into a really gorgeous, creamy texture, but it sets down too. So it's not one that shifts and moves around. And there's a lot of products from Westman Atelier that I think that brand is a little bit overhyped in my opinion, but I've loved this contour stick and I've used it for bronzer so many times, and that looks like a bronzer tone. You can totally wear it as a contour, right? Just being a little bit more direct with it and kind of build it in that area, or you can blend it out and make it a bronzer, which is how I wear it, but it is such a gorgeous formula. So that is on the list. Next up, this from Chanel. So this is the Soleil Tan Deep Bronze from the Le Beige line. This packaging is a hot mess, but this is one of those, again, very creamy, very buttery, very easy to build, blend, lasts all day. It's one that kind of sets down. It's really natural though. So when I'm wanting that really natural bronzed look, this is what I grab. It kind of does make me look like I've been fresh out of the sun. It's like the color kind of has a little bit of that redness to it. So it does look like I'm just like fresh out of the sun, and it is a gorgeous formula and I love it. It's always going to be on the list because it is one that I reach for all the time. Next up is a powder bronzer. So this is from Victoria Beckham Beauty. So this one is in the shade number 3. This is kind of similar to the same formula as the one from Gucci. It's very silky and very buttery. And it kind of gives that airbrushed look as you're applying it, but it's very soft on the face. If you're looking for something that's just really easy to apply and blend out, kind of no fuss bronzer, that's where this comes into play. And the two, one is just more matte and one has a little bit of radiance to it, but I kind of just go right in the middle. I don't really, in fact, that's where I'm going to hit pan, but these are refillable. It's just a gorgeous texture, gorgeous formula, really buttery, really creamy. Just love it. Okay, the last one is from Tom Ford. This is a recent purchase, and the reason why I am putting it in the video is because I absolutely love this formula. And so when they launched new shades, I am in love with this new shade for me personally. So this is Intensity 1, and it is perfection for a medium complexion. So if you have been, I mean, look at that color. I love how natural this is. I already knew that I loved the Shade and Illuminate formula. It was one of my favorites. And to me, I haven't really found any differences between the original formula and the new formula. But for me, what stands out is the actual tone and the bronze in this. I love this color, and I have used this so many times since I bought it. And I don't think I'll ever pick up Intensity 2 again. I just don't think I will. I love this so much. And I've been using this brush from BK Beauty. So this is the 109. Gosh, this is a good brush for bronzer. Whether it's powder or cream, this is a great brush, especially if you're wanting something a little bit more direct. Now, if you're someone that likes to take a bigger, fluffier brush and really kind of buff it in, then, you know, this is not going to give that. But if you want a brush that gives you a little bit more direct control, this just like, I mean, you can just really tap it in, and it's such a good brush for that. But I have been absolutely loving this new shade, and it is now one of my top 5 favorite bronzers. So that's the list. Those are my top 5 favorite blushes and bronzers for the year of 2022. Sound off down below. What has been your most favorite blush and bronzer for the year? I'm so curious. Again, I say this in every video because I mean it. You guys have the best recommendations. So sound off down below. Share with us which one has just been your ride or die for the year. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me in today's video. Don't forget to come right back here tomorrow for day 4 of my 15 days of beauty. I love you guys so, so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys all in tomorrow's video. Love you. Bye.